Looking at the focus on the outcomes of the AU summit, but with a particular focus on gender. Justina Dugbazah, a project manager at Anglophone Countries for NEPAD, a gender and development program, is with me to have a look at those outcomes. Justina, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you for having
Maybe
me.
you can help us understand that the AU is very targeted now at the 2063 agenda, and the theme has been around women empowerment. Why do you think that they have made sure that they place this particular focus on women right at the top?
Okay, well, thank you. We know that historically women have been disadvantaged, and they've been disadvantaged in a lot of areas. For instance, when we take access to land, access to resources, financial resources, and control over resources, women are lacking there. If we look at education, so when we talk about inclusive growth and sustainable development, for instance, there is a gap when we look at men and women, and these issues have been addressed in piecemeal. So because of that, this particular year, the AU decided that the focus must be on women's empowerment. And this particular focus has also been addressed comprehensively in the Agenda 2063. Because what we want to achieve at the end of the day is not only sustainable development, but also inclusive growth. Because we know that when we take development components, whatever we look at, everything is gendered. Men's experiences are different from women's experiences. So the question we are asking is, where are the gaps, and how can these gaps be addressed so that everything is done holistically and everybody is included in the development process?
Justina, it has been very well documented, the fact that there's obviously huge inequalities between the two genders. But what do we do with this body of evidence that we have? What have been the steps that have been taken? As we know, NEPAD is the implementation arm of the AU. What active or concrete steps have you put in place?
Okay, well, gender is really important to the NEPAD agency. And as a result of that, first of all, we do have a strategic framework. Gender or women's empowerment is a very huge component of that. And we also have a gender program within the NEPAD agency. And the work of the gender program, firstly, is to ensure that all projects that are implemented by the NEPAD agency actually look at the gender issues. And there has, as you rightly said, there has been quite a number of research done. So what we do is that we look at the country profiles, we look at the needs assessment in these countries and the outcomes of these needs assessments. Then we also do country consultations, for instance, and out of that, then we develop projects and try to address this issue. On the ground, for instance, it's a flagship program that the gender program has, which is called the NEPAD Spanish Fund. And this fund emanated from NEPAD's position that in order to achieve a balanced growth on the continent, we really need to address the issues of women or the gender gap. And as a result of this, through a partnership with the Kingdom of Spain, we've been able to address, we've been able to establish this fund. And we've had the fund since 2007. And we've had 2 calls of proposals. Now we've had 20 million euros from the government of Spain. So the first call for proposal was in 2008, and now we had the second one in 2012, which is ending this year. And out of this, we have implemented 77 projects in 35 countries. And we've had this in 3 main areas. Women's economic empowerment. Economic empowerment, for example, actually took up 60% of the grants that were issued out. And we did this specifically because we felt that women's economic empowerment is actually a huge or predominant need that has to be addressed. Now, the second one is that we had institutional strengthening as well as civil society strengthening.
Justina, can I just jump in there, specifically with institution? I am reading it here that you wanted to strengthen civil society and community-based organizations. And given the fact that our lifestyles have changed, do you think that this particular forum, institutions, civil institutions, are still the right way to go about trying to empower women? Are we getting people that are subscribing to this?
Yes, we are. But just to retract a bit, I would like to say that there isn't a single method through which we can empower women. We have to do this at different levels. We do it at the national level, the continental, regional level, and also at the community level. And as a continental institution such as NEPAD, it will be really difficult for us to really reach the grassroots. And to be able to do that and do it comprehensively, we do need the civil society organizations. And that is why we are working in collaboration with women's organizations, with the civil societies, with faith-based organizations, and also with the member states.
Justina, thank you so much for coming in today and telling us more about what NEPAD is doing and their role in making sure that these agendas and these targets are met. That was Justina Dugbazah. She's the project manager for Anglophone Countries for NEPAD.